Welcome to the living room chaos. This time I'm going to start putting the coolant system in. And I think the first step is get the oil cooler on. Now my best mate Gerald, the workshop manual, tells me that I need a new O-ring here. So that's exactly what I've done. And it also tells you to use lithium grease instead of engine oil to lubricate it. So that is what I shall do. Now, if you've ever looked up the torque settings on a MT-07 and seen the oil filter cartridge union bolt and wondered what it is, it's this bolt just here. Now, I've pre-covered this in engine oil because when you torque it up, that's what the requirements are. But I'm not going to torque it up till I know I've got these pipes in the right place. Where this pipe connects in the cylinder head, that's actually where the thermistor or thermostatic valve is for the cooling system. If you've got aftermarket silicone hoses like these, don't do these up too tight. Like, don't follow the torque settings in the manual because they actually squish them and ruin them. You just need to put the Jubilee clip over where the little nipple is and just nip it up so you can kind of see that it's gripping past the nipple, and then you shouldn't have any problems. I've learnt from previous mistakes, and the only reason why I've got these aftermarket pipes on here isn't really for performance. It just so happened that mine were ruined. I needed to replace them. These were cheaper and red, and I like red. I don't think they're any better than the OEM ones. If anything, the OEM ones are probably better than these, but I've not actually had a problem with them. They work fine. Well, except if you do the Jubilee clip up too tight, then they're fucked. So then on to the water pump housing, which has got a bit of dust on it. Gerald reckons you use lithium grease to lubricate the seals. Now I've already done the back of this seal when I was putting it in. I'm just going to go around the top of it to make sure it's all fully greased. And then the two little seals that go in the ends where the pipes go in, they also use lithium grease on them too. And then the metal water pipes bolt into the pump housing, which I did a really shit job of showing here. But they should just slide into the pump housing. You might have to give it a little bit of a wiggle where the seals are, but as long as you don't force the bolt in the pump housing, you should be alright. Just push them in nice and straight if you're doing this. I've had these off a few times on various rebuilds or clutch replacements, etc. Like you're kind of best off leaving them a little bit loose. Like all of this bit, just leave everything a little bit loose, because it really does help to be able to wiggle stuff. So my thinking here is one end of that tube is actually connected to the cylinder head. And I know that's the fixed point where that needs to get to. So it means I can slide the lower pipe up that as I try to fit it. And it should help me get the pipe in, because it gives me something to push against. It just occurred to me having this clutch protection on isn't a very good idea, as they actually share a bolt hole in the case, so I'm just going to whip that off. It can just go on at a later date, it's not important. Give me more room to manoeuvre the water pump cover and everything about. So the water pump cover has actually got one dowel in it. So it is actually possible to line that one dowel up perfectly. Then you can rotate things around the dowel and get things to line up. And knock your Loctite over. And again. A spanner. Then this pipe here actually connects to the back side of the lower water pipe. So I need to route this round the back of this bit of wood. This I actually cut shorter. This is how I know that doing Jubilee clips up on them too much actually buggers them beyond belief. Now, I only cut about 1.5 centimetres off, 15mm. So I'm hoping it won't be too short. If it is, I'll just have to replace it. It's not a big deal, but for now, it will let me connect it up, hopefully. Hadn't even noticed until I started doing this, and then I was like, oh fuck, it's buggered. Let's chop the end off. Like any good madman. Oh, and before you think you're going mad, my water pipes are 2 different colours of red. It's actually 2 different sets of water pump pipes that are painted, and I realised I wanted the darker red, but I actually buggered up one of the top ones and one of the bottom ones, so I decided to go with these. And the other set I'm going to strip down and get Cerakoted at some point, which was annoying, but what are you going to do, eh? Sometimes you just have to get on. I can replace stuff later. So I realised trying to get these bolts in that the water pump cover's not quite in alignment, and I need to push that, push the bottom metal pipe further along the hose that's connected to the engine. So I need to just force it up a little bit, give it a bit of a jig. Oh, fuck. Whoa, that was lucky. Oh, don't tip it over the other way, twat. I think earlier me had thought about this a little bit because the other bit of wood and the engine stand at the back's got it. So I did shit myself though. I thought I was about to have a bike land on my head. And my head ain't pretty enough to live through that. See? Don't even need that bit of wood. He says casually, with his face intact. Let's not risk it though, eh? Just stick another bit of wood in just in case. Just remember the old saying, wood is good. So now it's more lined up. I'm going to do up this bolt, which holds in the water pipes into the water pump housing. And with this, I'm just going to do it up gently. If it starts feeling like it's binding up, I'm going to stop because it's a really thin water housing. And I don't want to fuck anything up. And it will need torquing up at some point. So if I just do it gently, I won't go past the torque. Then with the actual water pump housing bolts, I can't actually get them all the way in because I have like a small protector that goes over the water pump housing, and it's got some spacers in it which jack it all out. And I want to get that airbrushed before it goes on, and you're supposed to Loctite the water pump housing bolts in. So I'm just going to stick them in loosely for now. That doesn't matter about leaving them loose for now, as I can't actually put the radiator on until I've got the exhaust pipe on and all of that guffins, which is why this is a part 1 of the water system, or the coolant system as it's actually called. So that means once all that's in, I can address everything in the cooling system together, like the fluid and the drain bolt and all of that. I just want to kind of get all of this in and off the sofa so I can put more parts on the sofa and get to work. As the sofa seems to be where all of my parts seem to live. But I figure it's soft and I rarely sit on it, so it seems perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm going to leave it here with the back of my head for some reason. Hopefully that all made sense and I didn't just end up talking a load of bollocks. Alright, cool. Take it easy. Catch you in a bit.